Y'all see him in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's guys, you're just here, welcome back to my channel. We're back for the reaction to Peaky Blinders. This is the final season, season 6, episode 4, Sapphire. Where we last left off with the last episode, I don't know how much darker this show or this series could possibly go because, yeah, the season started off pretty dark with Tommy actually putting a gun to his head, pulling the trigger, trying to kill himself. Thankfully, there's no bullets in it, but I never for once actually thought that they would go through with killing off his daughter, Ruby. She was just a kid. She did not deserve that. I feel so bad for Tommy. I feel so bad for Lizzie. I just feel so bad for the family right now. We've seen Arthur go down on a dark path, but with her passing, I'm kind of scared for the path that Tommy's about to go on. He's been through so much already. I don't know if he can actually take this and what he's going to do next and how he's actually to come back from this, if he is at all. Yes, we know there's a movie coming, thank God. So this isn't going to be the last of the actual story with this season, but I have a very strong feeling that's going to end on a very sour note, but there's only one way to find out. If you guys are looking for my full reactions to the show, the link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. I don't even want to see the state that Tommy's in.
This hard lies,
I don't even want to talk over this right now. It's like angelic. Was that Arthur at the end there? Slumped over.
I've written some words. I can't speak them. You're the oldest. You're speaking for me.
Just giving him some responsibility here. Something to do.
I'm sorry, brother. I gotta do it.
This show could be depressing, man, I swear. A lot of death, a lot of loss.
She deserved a golden carriage, but we didn't afford ourselves that luxury because gold doesn't work.
They tried it, didn't save
That
her
was the last
life.
lesson that Ruby taught us. So am I. You made her laugh. You light the flame.
no, you won't burn her. No.
Yeah, it's gonna make me break down here. I was thinking we might even get a time jump just to skip past all this rough stuff, but nope. Head first. Start of the episode.
The devils who did this will pay, Ruby.
What do you mean?
The devils who did this will pay, Ruby. You know he's out for blood now.
Riley, I think the police are here.
Fuck the police.
Bad day, Barwell.
Who's asking?
The mother of that one
I'm here on behalf of the Blue Sapphire.
bearing child. Oh my god! Tommy. He'd even ask questions other than her motherfucking name.
Gold dust. Our business is done, Esme. Get out of the car.
Quite done, Tommy.
That was quick.
Some business is still unfinished. Christians say the Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Spirits just took away your child.
Get out of the car, Esme.
The same spirits want to give you a different child, Tommy.
What?
Before he went to France a long time ago at Appleby Fair, he slept with a girl. Her name was Zelda. I met her. You remember the girl in the hazel tree, don't you, Tommy?
He has a son? Another son?
He's yours. Boy born with hazel eyes.
What the fuck?
Calls himself Duke. If the losing of rubies left a hole in your heart, I'll send him to you if you give me a bit more gold.
Can't really do a blood test. Well, this is a plot
Is that
twist.
business or not, Tommy?
Didn't see this coming. You know, that glazing stare.
I know where you went. Did the woman you killed have children?
10,000 children die every year.
Who
Go
cares?
to bed, Tommy. Stop and close your
I thought she'd be happier.
I will not stop!
What is this good that you will come?
These actors are bringing it. Killian Murphy always does, but Lizzie as well. I hate seeing Arthur like this. You better turn it around by the end of the season, I'm telling you.
The young top fucks up your mind. You know, Arthur, he was already fucked up.
Tell him about Linda. Give him some hope. Give us some hope. Give me some hope.
Yeah, cook's nearly full capacity.
So we don't stuff anymore. You don't drink no more, Tom.
This is a big deal. He went to drink last episode too. He asked Esme for whiskey.
And you and me were about now was nearly done.
Music's starting to get more intense now.
Just a few more yards to go.
Almost at the finish
You'll
line.
change your ways, and I'll change the fucking world.
Mr. Shelby will be down shortly.
Please tell Mr. Shelby, on behalf of us all, that changing the world can wait.
He doesn't want to wait. There is champagne.
Oh, goody.
Oh, goody.
The agenda is in my head.
I like that we still got Frances in the show.
It's in my head.
She's a real one.
Okay. I look okay.
If someone touches you, you won't shatter.
There's so many people at this table that I don't like. Mosley,
Should she sing her rebel
his
anthem
wife,
while we wait? Would that be appropriate?
Polly's murderer.
You know, I went to a meeting of similar intent to this in Berlin. When the first rays of light entered the room, we all stood and stared at it as if it were the world to come. And when breakfast was served on the terrace overlooking the mountains, they brought up some Jews. And while we ate our eggs, they were forced to eat grass.
No one asked her for the story.
Now look what you've done. You've killed the mood.
She's a vibe killer. That's Ada's little one.
When I cry, blackboard.
Fucking Nazis. There's a reason why you never see them painted in a positive light.
Was wrong. I thought her the queen.
Mr. Shelby.
No, please. No condolences. Thank you all for coming.
Feels like we're kicking a session that 70s
I hear
show.
about communists in both places.
Man, we always think of so many brilliant things down here, but then later I can't remember any of them. I mean, they're brilliant, man!
But underneath, do you truly believe in the cause, Mr. Shelby?
Prove it to him. Perish Judah.
Wants him to actually say it.
Perish Judah.
They're just words.
Boston is now officially open for the importation of your merchandise.
So Tommy's getting his way.
Good.
What is he thinking right now? I think Jack notices something. Something's off.
If we have established what we came here to establish, perhaps we should all say goodnight.
Absolutely.
She noticed he was about to go off. We'll transition to from the gunfire to the typing. So that's how he's staying focused.
It's from a sanatorium.
Just working from the sanatorium.
Already paid Ruby's medical bills.
I don't think it's a bill. It says it's urgent. To a senior consultant.
Maybe they found something.
I burned her chair. The paint on the wood left a smell in the air.
They probably should have kept it for sentimental purposes, but everybody's got to grieve in their own way, you know?
Not yet. Not yet. Hello?
I feel like the mood's already changing, whoever this is. Oh, whoa! Sorry, Michael. You just lost your girl while you're locked away. She's getting knocked away. Oh.
I saw him leave.
He's a married man now, too.
How did you know I'd come here?
I know things.
Will you tell Michael?
Michael is family. We are family healed.
You have no interest in me. Or in Michael.
He will be with Mosley when he's in Berlin. He'll be in the room when he meets senior members.
He's got an informer now.
I want to know what is discussed, and I want to know what is decided.
And if I lie?
I'll kill you.
I will know.
You know, Michael thinks you're the devil. And I think you might actually be right.
I think Mosley's the devil.
What's the other reason I came
You
here?
just slept with the devil.
What are Michael's real intentions towards me, Gina? And if you lie, I will know.
He intends to complete the deal.
And then kill you.
And then you both walk away.
Lies.
Come. You might want to sit down.
Okay, I'm sitting. Tommy, sit.
When you were x-rayed and examined at the sanatorium 10 days ago, there was no TB found in your lung. I am afraid they found something else. Something related to your daughter's illness. A tubercular growth caused by the same bacteria as TB. You may have picked it up from your daughter.
So is he gonna die?
Once this disease enters a household, it can run wild.
Even the 30s had COVID.
From the size of the tumor, expansion must have been rapid. Have you recently suffered seizures?
He has.
Bouts of weakness, dissociation, hallucinations.
Like, I want to say there's got to be something they can do, but I also said that about Ruby.
Eventually, you will need people around you constantly who love you very much.
How long?
It's the big question.
How long before I need people around me who love me very much?
I will telephone you when I get back to London.
No, don't have enough time yet at account to give me a fucking number now.
1 year. Perhaps 18 months.
That's not a lot of time, but they can never be 100% accurate with those types of things.
Good day.
There will be a war in this family. And one of you will die. Kill.
Chills, y'all. Look at those goosebumps. Man, Tommy cannot catch a break. Alright guys, that was Peaky Blinders, final season, season 6, episode 4, Sapphire. And things are not getting better. Things are not looking up at all. Things were just as dark as the last episode, and things just keep on getting worse. It's not a good look right now for Tommy and the family, because we saw at the very end of the episode, the last final scene, his doctor actually arrived at the house. Well, first he wrote him a note saying like urgent, and I thought it was in regards to his daughter. Well, I guess it kind of was, because they also found the same thing in his daughter, but yeah, he didn't open up the actual letter. So when he finally did, it basically said like, we need to talk stat. ASAP, like something's going on, we need to talk, like give me a ring. And Tommy was avoiding the doctor. I guess that was his part of grieving. I guess he just didn't want to talk to him at all, anything in regards to Ruby. And then we found out at the very end when he finally arrived at his house that yeah, he's sick. It's not cancer, it's not whatever Ruby actually had, but it doesn't seem like it's operable, and there's no coming back from this. Obviously, miracles happen all the time, but things are not looking good right now for Tommy, because they basically said you have from a year to 18 months to live. So get your finances in order, as his accountant would say, but wow. Obviously, things can happen. Like I was saying, miracles, but for a real life instance, my aunt in real life actually was diagnosed with lung cancer, I think, 4 years ago. And they actually said that she has 6 months to live. She's still super sick. Like, she's suffering. I definitely feel so bad for her, like, seeing the state that she's in. But the great thing is she's still alive. Like, after 6 months they gave her, and she's still fighting. So obviously things aren't actually exact or 100% accurate when it comes to these diagnoses from the doctors. But at the end of the day, it's still not a good verdict. Things are not looking good for Tommy. I'm just trying to say there's some hope for Tommy to live a little longer than 12 months to 18 months or however long the doctor actually gave him. But let's go back a bit, because we're going to start at the very start of the episode, kind of picking up shortly after where the last episode ended with Ruby's actual funeral. Man, I still can't believe they actually went that route with killing her off. I honestly didn't think they would do that, and I should have known. Like I was saying at the start, this whole season, this whole series is dark. Like, it's not a fun series to watch. If you're depressed or going through it, I would not recommend this show to anybody, because yeah, it's just gonna make you feel like shit. But if you're in the right state of mind, I don't know how I'm getting through it, but if you're in the right state of mind, the show is absolutely fantastic. It's just so dark, because yeah, going back to the start of this season, Tommy actually put a gun to his head. Well, going back to last season, but at the start of this season, he actually fired it. And then from there, we find out about Polly's death. Didn't even show us, like, obviously they couldn't film any additional scenes because she had passed previously. But yeah, then we were brought right to her funeral. Then a couple episodes later, we find out, well, right then and there, that same episode, Ruby got sick. Then a couple episodes later, Ruby dies. Now we're finding out that Tommy's sick and he can't be cured. It's inoperable. Like, what the fuck is going to happen next? So Linda's still gone. I mean, I thought that was going to be the worst of it. And that is pretty much as low as you can go. She's still not back in the show. Arthur is still suffering also, but the hits just keep on coming. God damn. I know I'm getting wound up right now, because I feel like I'm going through it just as much as them. Every time something bad happens, like I get sick in my stomach, like we're suffering as well as viewers because we care about these characters. Like that's how involved we are in this series and how much we care. I don't know how much more we could take though, but I have a feeling it's just going to get even worse before this season or before this entire series is over. There's 2 episodes left now. I don't know how much we can come back from this. Like the little bit of good that we did have this episode, and I definitely want to talk about this scene because yeah, it was freaking probably my favorite scene of the season so far, where Tommy actually exacted his revenge shortly after, or I guess he left his daughter's funeral and then he went directly there out to the woods. He found the woman that actually put the curse on Ruby. We found out last episode from Esme, who was telling the story about the buried girl when they went there to the gypsy cemetery, which was super creepy, and it was like all run down and everything. And I don't even know like her involvement. I'm kind of like thrown off a little bit in regards to why she actually acted out that way to Ruby and Tommy and the Shelby name. Especially after she suffered and she had to bury her own daughter from that exact same disease. Why would she want anybody else to suffer? Why would she put that on anybody else? I'm still not 100% sure what her intentions were in regards to why she actually did it, but regardless, Tommy actually arriving there, and he only asked one question. He's like, "Are you so-and-so?" The name that he was looking for. She's like, "Yeah, who's asking?" And I guess she should have known because he just opened up fire, like murked as many people as he possibly could. We saw that instance too, like, it was great to see, even as a viewer, like, I needed that. Exact some revenge, like, after everything we've been through, after every hand we've been dealt up until this point, we needed some type of therapy, I guess you could say. And then shortly after he did that, the remaining gypsies, they just kind of ran off. But he took out as many as he possibly could, and then he's just kind of slumped up against the tree after. And I feel like the narrative that I provided was pretty much exact on, or pretty spot on for the scene where, like, he needed something. He needed to act out on that revenge, but in that moment, now that's been completed, it doesn't change the fact that Ruby's gone, you know? Like, he's still dealing with it. He's still suffering. Like, he's still in a bad place. Like, they all are. Even flash forward a little bit in this episode, that scene where Tommy goes down to the basement and then Arthur's already down there in the dark, completely out of it. Like, man, everybody is down right now. It really sucks to see. I'm just hoping, I don't know if there's going to be like a bright side at the end of the day. Like, are we going to end this season on a high? I don't know with the show. I'm really hoping we do, but going back to that scene, it was actually a nice scene, seeing the 2 brothers kind of bond a little bit there, joke around a little bit. And he was telling an old story about the past, how Tommy kicked his ass, I guess, when they were kids. He was 9 and Arthur was 12. But then he said at the end of the scene that, yeah, well, first he was kind of blaming that's the reason why Arthur is so fucked up. I'm like, he's got to be joking. But then there was a touching moment at the end of the scene where Tommy was actually like, now I realize you actually let me win. You always wanted me to win. You've always had my back. So, and he has, like, as the older brother, we saw in the first season, like, he was kind of like fighting a little bit the fact that Tommy's the actual, like, head of the family, even though he's the oldest. But I feel like for the most part, he's always supported, like, he's become okay with it and being the right-hand man because he knows that Tommy is better suited for that role in the family and just for everything, just the criminal business, the criminal underworld. Like, clearly Tommy's the one cut out for it. I feel like Arthur is the perfect right-hand man, though, when he's in the right state of mind. But speaking of Arthur, still no Linda. I still don't know if Tommy was lying to him previously. But even if he wasn't, and he was supposed to get clean for her to actually return, I feel like they're all like not on the great path right now. Like, he is still out of it. We saw this episode too during, like, that's another thing I did want to bring up, but during one of those musical segues, I guess you could call it. I don't know exactly what you want to call it, but yeah, everybody was going through it. We saw Arthur going to his old dealers. They were already told by Ada and Tommy not to sell to him anymore, and I guess he like stole from them drugs, I think it was, or I'm assuming it was drugs because I guess he was like detoxing really bad and he needed something, he needed a fix, and they refused to sell to him for their own sakes, and he just freaking took it out on them. But while that was going on, we also saw Ada, like, her family's being attacked now, and I'm not a huge fan of her son. I gotta say, like, he's a dick. Even going back to last season when her baby daddy for her new daughter was still alive and he was trying to have a one-on-one with Carl. Carl was being racist then too. He's got a lot of growing up to do, and hopefully he does eventually turn it around. But yeah, that scene that where she had with him, well, she's basically just looking after the baby, and then a brick gets thrown through the window, and then the freaking Nazis are like right outside her window, like talking shit too. Ada, I freaking love her though. She's such a boss, such a gangster. She went out there, no backup at all, just one woman by herself, like protecting her children for the sake of her children. Went out there with a gun, like pointing a gun in their faces, and you saw how quick they ran, like fucking pussy Nazis. Well, her, just one woman out in the street. Man, so much went down this episode. But the thing is, everything I'm saying that went down is not a good thing. Like, everybody is going through it right now. The hits just keep on coming. All I can do is just hope for a hopeful ending at the end of the season. Hopefully we do end on a high note, but yeah, what else went down this episode? Gina, she hooked up with Mosley, or we finally saw it. It's probably been going on for quite some time, but now because of it, Tommy can actually use her as basically his informant. I don't know if we can actually trust her. Like, she even said, oh, what if I lie to you? And then he asked her a question. Oh, Gina, what is Michael going to do once Michael is out of prison? And then she's like, oh, nothing. He's just going to go along with the deal. Then once it's through, everybody gets their payday, we go our separate ways. And then you saw the smirk from Tommy. He's like, see, now I got your tell. Now I know how you're lying and how I can actually tell you're lying if you are lying to me when I do ask you what actually went down when you're in the same room as Mosley and you hear that information and you relay that information to me. If you don't relay it correctly, I'm going to know you're lying, and I think that scene proved it. He knows when she's lying, and as soon as he left, she knew she was in shit too. But yeah, we saw it coming too. Going back to last season, we knew Gina and Mosley were going to be a thing, and he's a married man now too, but he's a dick. Screw them both. Like, they kind of deserve each other. But it's kind of funny also for Michael. Like, he's like thinking she's a ride or die while he's locked away for her. And nope, she's having fun with Mosley. But screw them both. Not a fan. She's definitely in trouble. I knew right away she was going to be in trouble too. But I don't know if we're going to see Michael. Like, there's only 2 episodes left now, and he's still locked away. Are they saving him as the villain for the movie? Maybe I'm just thinking long game right now, what the possibilities could possibly be, but as of right now, he's still locked away, and he's been locked away since the end of the first episode, so there's still time. There's still 2 episodes remaining, so I guess he could come back in time and really have an impact in regards to the overall arc of the season, but there's a lot that they have to get through with these 2 episodes. I guess I guess they could kind of close up everything with the movie, but they got to have a new arc for the movie, I'm assuming. Like, they can't leave us on a cliffhanger to end the series and be like, hey, watch the movie if you want to see the true ending. That would actually piss me off. So I really hope that that's not the road that they're actually going. But yeah, I have no idea what else to expect for the remainder of this season. This show is so good. All I can expect is a dark ending, and all I can hope for is a happy ending. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. But the last thing I really wanted to bring up before I kind of wrap things up here is what I've always brought up in regards to this show is the music, the soundtrack, the score. It is absolutely phenomenal. Look at what the song choices they used this episode when it came to the folk music. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it was just so good. Like, I freaking loved it. And it, like, the scenes that they choose, or the music they choose to kind of overlay the scenes with, man, it's honestly perfection. It makes you feel a certain way. It's just honestly incredible. I'm actually blown away. Like, the song choices they're super haunting, but at the same time, like, I don't know, they're almost catchy too. Like, and angelic. I can't even find the words to describe them. They're that damn good. That's all I'm trying to say. So I just wanted to shout out whoever is responsible for that, and the directing as well. Maybe it is the director that's also doing the song choosing, but the directing, there's so many scenes. Like, even when Tommy pulled up this episode, that one scene that I already went over where he actually just opened fire, I don't know, like, I gotta go back and look. I'm pretty sure there was like 1 or 2 shots or 1 or 2 cuts, but it started like in the trees, it went down, and he, like, you see the gypsies, then he rolled up, the camera panned over to him, and then yeah, he just opened up fire. Then the other scene as well, oh man, I almost forgot this one. I'm glad I actually remembered it before I actually wrap things up here. When they had the meeting between everybody with Tommy, Mosley, that one woman that's responsible for Polly's death. I don't know her name. I don't think I've ever said her name yet, so yeah, I thought it came to me for a second. No, it's not in my head. So yeah, definitely let me know her name, because I feel like she's gonna be playing a bigger part moving forward. But that whole scene there with Jack too, the camera takes, like, the cutting, like, it was going around. I don't even think it was cutting. It was just the camera panning, like, so quick all one take. Like, man, it's kind of phenomenal what they're doing. I'm pretty confident this season is going to win some awards once everything's said and done and once the season actually wraps up. But I'm sure you guys can tell I'm freaking loving this season right now. I'm loving this show. Like, I'm still pretty hyped. Whew, this was a good one, even though it was another dark one. I don't know what Tommy's going to do. I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think Tommy's actually going to find a cure to this? I also thought he was going to find a cure for Ruby, but that didn't happen. So I don't know anymore what to expect with this show. I don't even want to make any predictions because this show keeps on pulling out the rug from under me. So yeah, another good episode. I think I'm going to end it there though, guys. As always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't fun enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I am not the one to be yo-yo, and when you put that shit on me, then I watch you leave, let you back in, you came back in and shit on me, drag me along for a week, till my